So today I'm happy to announce that the fine folks over at IK Multimedia have just released their latest addition to their iRig lineup of products. This one is the iRig HDX. Now you might be asking, what makes this so special? What makes this different? Well, today we're going to dive into all the really cool possibilities, and I think you're going to agree that this little device is going to be a very handy little piece of gear to have with you for mobile recording, working with your iPad, and even as just a very basic, simple little audio interface. Now, before we dive into all the details, I want to let you know that the folks at IK Multimedia have been kind enough to send me an extra boxed version to give away to one of my viewers. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask that anybody go to the link below to my website, sign up for my mailing list. I just find that that's going to be the easiest way for me to be able to contact folks after the fact. And I will randomly choose from somebody on my mailing list from my website, and they will win the iRig HDX, and I will ship it off to them as long as they reside in the US, Canada, UK, or the EU. And the winner will receive this wonderful little interface. So what is it? Well, if we take a quick look at it, we notice that we have an encoder here, very simple on the front, push button encoder, rotating encoder. We have an 1/8-inch headphone jack, a USB-C jack. We have a guitar instrument input, and we have a guitar through. We'll talk a little more in detail about just how all of these function. So the iRig HDX has a street price of $129.99 US dollars or euros. It is a 24-bit 96 kilohertz capable audio interface. So let's dive over to the close-up camera and power it on, and we'll take a closer look and see just what it's capable of. All right, so here we are with the iRig HDX on a close-up with my camera. I've already shown you that on the front here, and I hope you can see this all right on camera. We have our guitar instrument input. We have a through output. So basically there's going to be a setting we can mess around with to change what that does. We'll talk about that in a moment. We have our USB-C over here. It's bus powered. So I have this plugged into my iPad Air over here just off screen, and it's powering it up, no issues. And then over here, we have our 1/8-inch headphone jack. And I was utilizing my Sennheiser HD660s with the included 1/4-inch to 1/8-inch adapter. It worked fine, sounded great. So you'll notice here we have our encoder on the front. We can press this, and it'll basically go through 4 little settings up here with this blue light. So the first setting here with the blue light there, you might be able to see this on camera. This is going to be our headphone volume. You can see that if I turn this, I am going to have my headphone volume up to wherever I need it set. Now you'll notice after a second or two that the lights go away. That's fine. That's going to actually act as an input meter once I plug a guitar in, and it'll show me what my input is. Now that's another very interesting and extremely important point about the iRig HDX. There is no control over the guitar instrument input level. It is fixed. Now, the good news is it's fixed at a pretty usable point. This particular device has 9 dB of headroom, meaning that if we feed this instrument input with a 0 dBu signal, it will equal up to very, very close to -9 dB FS in our DAW. Now, that's not exactly where I usually like to run my instrument level. I calibrate all my systems to be right around -11.5, sometimes 11 or 12, just depending on the audio interface and how fine we can tune it. So this is not set exactly where I want. So if I was to, let's say, use this to feed tonex, the way we need to control our instrument input with this is to go to our host software and control it from in there. So it's very simple. I'll show you on the iPad after how I do this. If I'm going into tonex, I simply would go into the instrument level input, and I'd probably bring it down by 2 to 2.5 dB. And that would give me that perfect level that I'm used to working at, and will make my tone model sound absolutely perfect. And that's most realistic to plugging directly into an amp with the guitar. So that's a good piece of information to know, but to be quite honest with you, it's probably close enough that you could just plug in here and leave everything the way it is in your software. And you're not going to notice a massive difference. It's probably going to be within that ballpark, you know, a couple dB off, 1.5 dB off, but not the end of the world. So if I switch over now here, you'll notice that as I rotate the encoder, I either end up perfectly perfectly counterclockwise or perfectly clockwise. Well, what this is telling me is this is controlling what is going to come out of our output here, our through output. If we rotate this over counterclockwise, what this is doing is it's going to send the affected signal out of this. So let's say that we are plugged into our guitar instrument input and feeding into tonex. If we want the processed tonex signal with whatever we're playing to come out of here, maybe to feed, I don't know, to an FRFR or to another audio interface, I don't know, whatever it is that you need it to do, it's going to give us our process signal. So whatever amp and tone model and reverb and compression, everything will come out to that. And we could, like I said, feed an FRFR and monitor through that. So that's great. But if this is set over here to the clockwise setting, this is going to mirror whatever is being input into the guitar instrument input. So it's just going to send that signal straight out. So we could send that to another guitar amplifier. The levels are almost exact. It's 1 for 1 on the way through. So that's great news. And we can just feed that straight into our guitar amp. So whatever we want to do, we have some flexibility there. Now, if we press this again, we now have the ability to turn direct monitoring on and off. I believe this way here, counterclockwise, is off, and this way would be on. So it does have direct monitoring, which is very cool as well. So let's just turn that off for now. Now, one of the very cool features is the loop back feature. And I'm going to demonstrate this when I show you in a couple of minutes how this works with tonex in the iPad Air. So basically here, if I'm at this setting, this is the loop back off. Now, to really engage that, I need to press this again. You'll notice that iRig HDX starts up again. If I want to engage the loop back, I have to do this and press it again, and you'll notice it reboots again. The reason is, what's happening here is when I have this set to off, so no loop back on, what you're going to notice is that iRig HDX is a 1 input, 2 output, or stereo output audio interface. We plug our guitar in, we select the USB audio 1, 2 as our output, and off we go. But if we engage the loop back, you'll notice, and I'm going to show you this on the iPad, you'll notice now that you will have actually 3 inputs, input 1, 2, and 3, and the instrument input is now going to be routed to USB 3. And this allows us to blend in our process sound of, let's say, tonex. We would set tonex to input 3, so it's going to react to our guitar. And then we could go to, let's say, our camera app on our iPad, videotape ourselves playing while the audio is captured from the separate tonex app. So it gives us the ability to shoot videos on something as simple as an iPad or whatever streaming software we're using and get high quality guitar audio going into it. So it's a very cool feature. So what we'll do for now is we'll just disengage that. And I'll show you more about that when we dive into the iPad. Now, one other cool feature that's not obvious is if I press and hold, this turns into a guitar tuner. And you can check your manual for more details on all of these features. I press and hold again, and now we are back here to whatever our setting is on our LED. So let's do this. Let's fire up the iPad. I'm going to start capturing my screen on the iPad, and we're going to switch over to that video shot for now. All right, so here I am on my iPad Air. So my setup right now is I'm plugged in with these headphones into my iRig HDX. I'm going to give myself some volume here on the headphones. And I have this mic, actually nothing to do with this system. This is going into my normal audio interface and capturing it on Cubase as I normally would, just because I thought that would be the best quality for this video. I'll edit that in later. So you'll notice I don't have my video being captured here yet. I can switch that over. But what I'm going to do is go get set up on tonex to show you just how this works. So I'm screen capturing everything. You'll notice that the audio is going to work on the screen capture, and then I can shoot a video over here and have the guitar audio. And you can see I'm playing my Gibson SG here. Not the ideal setup, but it gives you an idea of what you can do. So let's head over to tonex first of all. So here we are in tonex. It's firing up. I can go up to my settings here and make sure everything's good. You'll notice here I have headset jack, iOS audio. That's basically channel 1. That is the guitar instrument input. So I can play this headphones out. There's no other choice. Like I mentioned before, when the loop back is turned off, I have channel 1, this guitar going out to my headphones. Now, remember I did say that I would want to bring my level back. So, you know, if it's at 0, to match up to where I would normally run my guitar instrument input, I would probably actually very accurately bring it back to 2.3, and that'll give me that setting. So I'm plugged in my guitar into the instrument input. Now I would also want my background audio turned on. This is going to allow me to have the audio output from Tonex even when it's not the focus on screen, when it's running in the background. So I have this set up the way I want. Now what happens though if I come over here, I'm going to engage the loopback feature. Now what you'll notice is I have the ability to choose channel 3 as my digital audio. And that's going to, as I mentioned before, turn this into a 3-input audio interface where the guitar input is now on digital audio 3, and we're still going out the 2 outputs. So this is now set for me to do what I need with it. In my headphones, I hear my tone nicely. I can come over here. I'm using one of my tones that I have up on my website, which is my Archie 50 Green Push one. I downloaded this from ToneNet. Sounds exactly as it should. So here's the cool part now. I could come up to ToneNet here. I can search for different tones. And as I mentioned, very, very soon, we are going to have, and I'm going to do this here. I'm going to type in my name and see what comes up. We're going to have the ability to take our tone partner tone collections that you get from IK Multimedia off of ToneNet, and you're going to be able to import them in here. It's not quite ready yet, but it is coming soon. But I do have a lot of different possibilities here we can try out. My Slowdan 30. My Silver Jubilee Push 1. But again, I can come out of ToneNet here. I can go back to what I was just listening to there a moment ago. My Archie 50 Green. Now, this is wonderful. This is working beautifully. So now I can actually come out of here and let's go to my camera app. So here I am back on camera. Now I could actually shoot a video with this, get that going. As I said, the setup is not ideal here for watching precisely what I'm doing, but I think you get the point. But I'll show you what this video sounds like after the fact. So I'll just stop that for now. I should still be getting my screenshot. So another very cool thing we can do, let's do this. Let's go over to, let's say, YouTube. Now I've chosen a little guitar backing track. Play that and now have... and however that is going to go, and I can come out of that. So you can see it gives us a lot of possibilities as far as routing, and just with a simple iPad here, we can do a lot with Tonex. It's also going to work beautifully with Amplitude. It's going to work as a normal audio interface as well, with whatever other DAW we decide to use. So very, very cool stuff, and I think a lot of folks are going to get a lot of enjoyment out of this. And it makes a lot of tasks, such as recording ourselves on camera, just on an iPad, a lot simpler. All right, so there you have it, the wonderful little iRig HDX. I think this is a really great little product from the folks over at IK Multimedia. I've had a lot of fun testing it, having it a little bit in advance of the release, and it's been very, very cool to be able to mess around with my iPad and Tonex, and I love this. It's great. It's going to fit in my laptop bag. I can pull my iPad out and have all these great Tonex tones at my disposal immediately. So don't forget, there will be very, very soon an update coming out out that will allow you to grab my Tone Partner tone model collections from ToneNet and be able to implement them in the iOS version of tonex. So you'll be able to grab those, import them into your iPads, and you'll have some of the great tones that I offer up on ToneNet through the Tone Partners program. So today I'm going to actually leave you with a couple demo videos of a couple of my Tone Partner collections that are available. You can grab those now, and very shortly those will be available not only on tonex on your desktop or laptop and pedal, but also on your iPad device as well. So that's very cool. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. So I'll have links below to my affiliate link. If you want to grab one of these, you can click through that. I get a little tiny kickback from the folks at IK, helps to support my channel. Also have some links to my Tone Partner tone model collections. And don't forget to head over to my website, join the mailing list, and that'll allow me to randomly pick a winner that will win a beautiful brand new in the box iRig HDX. So thank you guys again so much for tuning in. Please like the video, share it with as many people as you can that you think will get some use or enjoyment out of watching it. And also please subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell notification to get notified when I put new content out. I'll be back really soon with some more. Thank you guys again so much for sharing your time with me, and enjoy the music on the way out.